Hello and welcome to 7th Circle Gaming. Today on the channel we're going to analyze the early access survival crafting game Palworld. We're going to start off, as we do every video here, with full disclosure. And you're welcome to pause the video and read through all of these items at your leisure, or if you would prefer not to, just let the video run and wait for the screenshots to start. In this first screenshot, we're going to briefly examine the overworld map of the game. Any discussion of the user interface is going to be postponed until the next screenshot. So then, moving right along, the world of the game is seemingly fairly large. We haven't actually timed how long it takes to go from one end of the map to the other, but as a rough guess, it would take several hours. In the second screenshot of the video, we're going to look at the world of the game, and then move on to that postponed discussion about the user interface. The world of the game is rendered in this fairly cartoonish, although not at all in any way, unrelatable art style. Very important that it be relatable. The user interface, by contrast, is fairly minimalistic, preferring to occupy only the periphery of the screen real estate. At the top center of the screen, we have the compass. At the top right-hand corner of the screen, we have the notifications bar. This is by no means an exhaustive example of what the user interface might look like. It's just meant to illustrate the general principle. In this second screenshot of the video, we're going to examine the research tree of the game. From what we can already determine, the research tree is fairly extensive. The points that players will be utilizing to unlock additional technologies on this tree are going to be gained by leveling up their player character. And that's all the screenshots we have to share with you today, so we're going to now move on to our first proper chapter, which is, as it always is, immersion. Here, the game has earned a frankly above average score of 8.5 out of 15. We don't have anything additional to add to this, so we're going to now move on to difficulty. For difficulty, the game has earned an average score of 7 out of 15. On the plus side, while the game only has basic difficulty options, and those options could be better described than they currently are, the game has a full menu of additional difficulty options, and players that are familiar with this sort of third-person shooter type gameplay should have no difficulty understanding what those mean, or how they're going to impact gameplay. The game, on the other hand, lacks any sort of tutorial, preferring instead to point players to a user's guide. Regardless of whether we were utilizing a mouse and keyboard or the controller, we did experience some minor issues with locating a control in a tense situation. Moving on now to lasting appeal. Here the game has earned a below average score of 4 out of 15. At present, the game has only 2 gameplay modes, that being single and multiplayer, leaving the only options for retrying the game to be by employing different difficulty settings or different combinations of difficulty options. It certainly seemed to us, based on all of our evaluation sessions, that the game is built around the idea of short gameplay sessions over a long period of time. However, we would be remiss if we did not point out once again that this is an early access game and everything is subject to change. Overall then, Palworld has earned a score of 6.5 out of 15, just missing out on an average score. And now on to some highly subjective statements, so please have your salt handy. Aside from the small fluffy animals and the art style, the game is pretty generic for the survival crafting genre. Progression throughout the game is sort of slow, although it does sort of depend on what the player prefers to measure their progression against. Throughout all of our evaluation sessions, we haven't yet managed to unlock firearms. On the other hand, Palworld does feel like it's very well priced for the amount of content on offer. And on that highly subjective note, congratulations to everyone who watched all the way to the end of the video. Is there a game that you would really like to see analyzed on the channel? Leave it in the comments section below. Have you tried Palworld yourself? We'd love to hear your opinions about the game in the comments section below. All that aside, we do look forward to seeing everyone on the next video. For now, from 7th Circle Gaming, go out and have the day that you all deserve, and goodbye.